Hi everyone! It is Friday night and we are just waiting for Mrs. Coffee's live if she's having it because she's sick. So we thought, well, let me back up. I am not with Mackenzie tonight. I am with my friend Becky.
Woohoo!
And we are going to do a whip and chat as she is learning how to diamond paint.
Yay!
I'm being cruel. I'm starting her off on squares, but I forgot when I ordered this canvas that it was the one we were going to do together, and I ordered it in squares. It's my Galaxy Unicorn. I'm really excited to do it, so I wanted to do it with her. So without any further delay, I'm going to have her introduce herself to you, just so you can get an idea of what my best friend is like.
I'm so distracted by, she just barely showed me how to diamond paint, like how to get started, so my ADHD is just kind of scattered here, so bear with me as I shift focus. So, my name is Becky. I am an artist. I am a geek by day and artist by night. I work for as a web developer. And then beyond that, I paint realism. And I work on children's books, and I'll add a link to my YouTube channel and my website in the description so you can see more of like who I am and what I do. Oh, there you go.
Sorry, everyone.
Let's see, what am I? I'm 34. Will be 35 this year. Let's see, and then I'm married, but I don't have kids, but I do have an adorable dog. He's our fur baby. Marissa and I plan to do a separate video kind of explaining why we both are choosing like individually to not have kids. So I know that sounds weird. Like I said that like we're married.
I know.
I was in mid.
We have both made the decision separately on our own.
Oh my goodness. Not that it would be a problem for
it would not. But we are both heterosexual, straight individuals who have made the decision that we do not wish to have children, and we will go into that in another video.
And just as an aside, and part of it is like we both have bipolar disorder, and so like for health reasons that's pretty much why. If I didn't have the illness that I have, it would be kind of a no-brainer that my husband and I would have kids. Make that clear.
Anyway, that's another video.
Okay, thank you for keeping me on track, Marissa. Is that enough? Like, I don't know what else to say.
Enough.
Okay.
Okay, so we want to do a few questions we have for each other on who we are, because I never really did do an intro on me, and I want to introduce Becky to you, and I'll do another one with Mackenzie, just in another video, just introducing us and why we're friends and just the quirky squirrel moments that we have. I do want to say, however...
Ow. Can I take it off? I don't know if I put it on the right.
Yeah. Just use your pen. Use your pen to push it off the edge.
It's stuck. Oh, it was right. All that work for nothing.
Like I said, this is also going to be kind of a how-to for Becky because she's learning.
And I keep sticking my hand on the sticky
glue.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so I do want to say as a disclaimer, Becky and I make jokes about our bipolar. We will be joking about it throughout this video.
In our reasoning, oh my gosh, I keep sticking. They should have gloves. The
reason we do it is because it's easier to laugh about it than to sit around and mope about the fact that we have an illness that we're never going to get rid of.
And full respect for the struggle, obviously, because we live it. It's our way of coping with the illness is just to not let it personally feel like not let it control us,
Mm-hmm.
but we control it, and we make it not like so serious. Otherwise, it's depressing for us. So
Right.
we just kind of
So we mean
Yeah.
no offense to anyone else who struggles with a mental illness. This is just our way of coping. I just wanted to add that so anyone watching this does not take offense to something we may say.
it's our just personal way of
Coping.
managing. Yeah.
So the first question we have is 3 things we like about each other. What I like about Becky is that she's a good listener. She pushes me to do my best. And she does not give up on me.
Yeah.
Even when I want to give up on myself. Even when I want to give up on life, she goes and sits at the hospital with me rather than letting me sit and be depressed and possibly do something stupid. So, even if it means she has to leave work early.
Yeah.
So, I love the fact that she is such an awesome friend.
Oh.
Okay, your turn.
That's not 3.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
I'm like, please praise me more. Okay, so Marissa, I love about her is she's so patient with me. Like, I can have like really high moods. Like, she has bipolar 2, I have bipolar 1, and so I swing more aggressively in my moods, and so she is so patient with my, like, I can fall into like a paranoid mind. I can really like, she doesn't try to fix me when I complain about things or I'm struggling with something, but I have a tendency to, like, when she's struggling, I have a tendency to problem solve or to try and fix it. And she's so patient with me, and she's helped me by example on how to, ways that I can help without, fixing it. My therapist has also helped me on that. And so she's just very patient. She's so welcoming, like with friends. Like, she's so kind, and she's so thoughtful. She has a natural way of thinking about others before herself, and she's generous in that regard to a fault sometimes.
I was going to say, sometimes to a fault.
And so you and I have to work on that. Her biggest strength, I have to say, is patience. And that is just amazing. I really love that about her, and I love her service. We've had to work on, like, Marissa, you tell me when you don't want to do something, and you have to be honest with me, because she'll just,
I'll just go with the flow, even if I resent it later on.
Yeah, and that's something I don't like. So we've learned that. We've learned that, because you have to be clear with me.
Yes.
Anyways, so she's just awesome. I really like that about her.
Okay. And then it kind of leads into the next thing we wanted to touch on is one thing you do to help me.
Uh-huh.
Becky tries and fixes my problems.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've gotten better at that.
You have gotten better, and though it's not always welcome, sometimes it is.
Oh, good.
Sometimes you can see it from a different perspective than me, who's stuck in it.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes what I need. Sometimes there is no fix.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just life sucks.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you can look at it from a different point of view and give me a different perspective, it helps.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what you do to help me.
What you do to help me is you are you're like a human antidepressant pill for me. When I'm having a really bad day, a down, depressed day, or my husband makes me, like, he doesn't make me upset, but if I get, the more accurate way to say it is if I get worked up over something, like I get triggered in a very, in either extreme, really down or way too high up and upset, then I go out with Marissa, and there's something about her that just, something kicks in me, and my spirits are up, and that is a big help. And just as a bonus one, she is so willing to help take care of my husband's and my fur baby Henry when we go out on vacation, and that just means the world to us.
He's a good fur baby. He doesn't pee on the floor.
He is a really good baby, and he considers Marissa his human aunt. So she's like a second mama to him.
He doesn't chew my shoes. He doesn't get into my stuff.
He really only has like 2 flaws, and that is he doesn't understand personal boundaries. Like, he wants to cuddle all the time, and then he dances at your feet.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's endearing, but like his anxiety isn't always.
Yeah. But he's a good fur baby.
He takes puppy Prozac because his anxiousness is really just me leaving, which it's cute, but it's not so cute for other people, and it doesn't help me when I worry about him.
When she leaves and I'm not here, he lays on the floor
flat like a pancake.
Yeah.
But if you were to meet him, you would understand why that is concerning, because he's a happy, excitable guy. Anyway,
you would think he needs Ritalin on a normal day.
But the Prozac has calmed him down.
It has, but on a normal day you would think he needs Ritalin.
Yeah. Pre-Prozac.
Yeah. Anyway, the next one. Biggest strength and your biggest weakness.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, my biggest strength is my natural desire is my whole life of when I recognize something in me that needs to be fixed, I immediately work on it and to make a change. Well, I don't like feeling held back, and so with my mental illness, I am in constant drive to strengthen myself, like to be at my healthiest, to not let it control me, but I manage it. I fully recognize that's something that is going to be a part of me my whole life, unless some miracle happens. Like, my anxiety is all but gone, and that is amazing to me. I still have some forms of it, but the debilitating anxiety is gone. Anyways, my belief in myself to change, like to improve, and my desire to progress and improve. So that's my biggest strength. And my biggest weakness is, like we mentioned, me, putting my fix-it hat on way too much. But I have gotten better.
You have.
But that's kind of like, it's kind of like a controlling issue. I want to fix it. I have a hard time seeing people like in pain of it to any degree. But anyways.
I have a reminder for Becky.
Thank you, Google.
Okay, my biggest strength would be the fact that I am dependable. If I say I'm going to do something, I either do it or I do the best I can to find someone else to cover for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a very good reason why I can't do it. My biggest weakness is that I have a lot of weaknesses, but I was thinking about this last night after our first recording of this failed.
I know, it was tragic. It was over an hour long, so just fair warning on this one.
I think this one's going to be short.
Yeah, it will be because we're rehearsed.
I think my biggest weakness is the fact that I can't stand up for myself. I've gotten better, but I still don't do it very well.
You really have gotten better. I mean, noticeably, you may not see it, but from an outsider's point of view, that.
But I still need people to do it for me at times. Because I'm too quiet, too shy. I avoid conflict. I hate conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I will run and hide first.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's just my background. So, that is me. But, okay. I want to do one that we don't have on our list with that. We cut it out, but your biggest personal challenge.
Oh.
We cut that out, but I want to do that. Because the reason I want to do that is because I want to share a little thing.
Sure.
My biggest personal challenge right now is dealing with my anxiety over my mother. Now you know why I wanted to add this one.
Yeah.
For those of you who were in Redneck Beauties live during the DP-a-thon Saturday night, during the Saturday night DP-a-thon, you may have seen me mention in the chat that my mother has cancer, specifically lymphoma, and she's doing really well. She's handling the chemo and radiation fairly decently, as well as can be expected. And we're all just doing what we can, but when she got diagnosed, my life fell apart. Becky was across the country.
She was here watching Henry.
I was here alone. Well, I was with Henry, but you can't talk to a dog.
You can.
He's just not going to talk back.
I know. Yeah.
My mother was in the hospital. They had just gotten custody of my nephews, so I was running back and forth to their house multiple times a day. So I was trying to balance that with taking care of a dog. I was trying to get ready for Christmas because it was a week before Christmas. I had lost my insurance, so I couldn't see my therapist or any members of my professional team. Life just fell apart, and I think I handled it pretty well.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So she has, from the insiders, like, she was inside her mind, and it was a very dark and stressful and stormy place for her. Just, I mean, from the outside, looking at her and knowing her past, and it was amazing, like miraculous. It was jaw-dropping. The way that you managed it was unbelievable. I mean, so impressive. And my heart was breaking because I couldn't be here with her. She had so much, like, pushing against her, and the way that she handled it was, miraculous. I mean, really, you were amazing. And it was like true refiner's fire, and you were getting burnt to a crisp. But you came out of it like an immortal Twilight vampire. you came out of it amazing, growing so much that you faced so many, and really scary, anxiety, and you went out of your comfort zone, out of necessity, like you had no choice. You faced those fears, big time. And, those of you who understand anxiety, it doesn't make sense. And, when you go through it and you have to face it, you realize it's not that big of a deal, but it still lingers around. And then there's anxiety where you face it, you go through it, and it's just gone. Like, you just, you heal it. And I would probably say, it's still uncomfortable, but it's no longer like a big time fear, those things that you did.
Now it's just speaking in church that terrifies me.
Yeah, but you're willing. You're willing. Okay, so anyways.
So my anxiety is over my mother. That's the biggest challenge I'm facing right now, to get back on track. Obviously, I'm scared I'm going to lose her, because cancer is a horrible, horrible thing. But I'm just taking it one day at a time, sometimes one breath at a time. And I have my faith, and I know that's carried me through so far. And I'm just trying to make lemonade out of lemons.
This is us reference.
No, it's not. It's a DBT reference.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I started her on This Is Us, and that's part of the I didn't mean to say that. So it's part of the first episode for those of you who have seen it. Anyways, that was a side tangent, squirrel.
Yes, there's going to be lots of squirrels.
Yes, because I
Even though they're
ramble.
Becky's least favorite animal.
Oh, that's another question. We'll
Yes.
get to. My biggest did I already say my biggest
Nope,
personal
you did
struggle?
not.
Oh, my biggest personal struggle right now that I'm actually, as we speak, because we're making this video during our what we call Girls Week, and that is when my husband is out on a business trip. Marissa comes over here, and then we do stuff like this. Anyways, so my personal biggest struggle is being alone. Like, I have my husband, when we first met, like 15 years ago, we dated like every day. We were always together. And then when we got married, we both were able to work from home, and we have worked from home and been together like every day, 24/7, up until last year when my husband started doing his career change, but he still works from home, but he goes on business trips, and he's gone for like a week, and this time it's going to be 2 weeks. Occasionally he's done 2 weeks because he goes and visits family after. Anyways, so my recent, ever since his business trips have started, is learning how to be alone and be okay. And so and this trip was amazing because I I didn't, like, in a paranoid frenzy, look at getting self-defense things and planning out booby traps around the house, like just being super paranoid about being alone. And this trip of his is like, it's kind of like what I said with the anxiety. It's just gone away from me. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but a long story short, I faced that giant, and like David and Goliath, and I knocked him down, and I triumphed. So anyways, I had a few days just myself before Marissa came over, and now we're celebrating by having fun together.
Yep.
So it's still a work in progress, but I'm making lots of progress. So that's my biggest challenge.
Okay.
Oh, and being consistent. That's a difficult thing for me, is being consistent, like with diet and exercise, and plenty of us can relate on that. So anyways.
You know the first 3 words and letters in diet are die.
I know. It feels like you're dying when you're trying to eat
Yes.
better.
Anyway, sorry, squirrel. What's your biggest fear, Becky?
My biggest fear is my husband and I not having kids, and he dies before me, and I'm alone and old and don't know what to do with myself. And with us having our mental illness, and at least for my studies, with so much wear and tear on your brain, it can get really kind of in some ways worse with time, like with age. And so I worry. And my grandma had Alzheimer's, and then my other grandma had cancer. And so I just worry about like my health and how I'll be when I'm older. And that's why, like, tackling this big challenge of learning to be okay alone is so I don't have this anxiety for the rest of my life, because living in fear is just, it's not helpful, and I don't want to live in fear. I want to feel independent and capable and strong. So anyways, my biggest fear, really, my main fear, is just my husband dying before me and being old and alone. So yours?
I have 2 big ones.
God, gosh, I keep sticking on this. Okay, carry on.
Try putting your hand like this.
No.
Or like this, above it.
I know. I'm working on it.
Okay. My first fear is because I watched Titanic too many times. I will not go on a cruise ship. I will not go out into the ocean too far. I am terrified of drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Not going in the deep water. If I can't see the bottom, I'm not going in. My second fear is a little more realistic, especially where we live.
Yeah.
It's snakes. I don't care if it's a garter snake or a rattlesnake. Keep it away from me. I don't like it on TV. I don't like it behind glass. I don't like it in real life. When Harry Potter had snakes on it, I closed my eyes or left the room.
Do you get freaked out when you're reading about snakes? Oh my god.
No, because I can picture them being tiny little 2-inch things.
Oh, okay.
So I don't picture them in the book when they're really like 20-foot basilisks.
Mm-hmm.
I picture it being a 2-inch garter snake.
Yeah.
So that's the fun thing about reading is your mind creates it, and it can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, snakes are not a friend of mine, and I'm planning to move to Arizona where there's lots of poisonous, deadly snakes. Not so sure about that, but we'll see what happens. Becky doesn't want me to move to Arizona.
Well, she doesn't like the cold out here, but I keep trying to tell her. Yeah, I keep trying to tell her she's trading one extreme thing for another. And I have family in Arizona, and I travel there often. I know what I'm talking about. It gets hot.
But everywhere's air conditioned.
Hot. It doesn't matter. It gets super, super hot. And it's overcrowded. And anyways. I tell her she just needs to go and take an extended vacation there to get a good idea.
Okay, what's one thing you're good at?
What's one thing I'm good at? I'm good at making friends. I learned it from my mom, who I love. She's my best friend. Just love her to pieces. She has a talent that's very amusing, where she can be on, like, for an example, an airplane, and at the end of the whole trip, she has the person next to her, like, name and phone number and email, not because my mom's a stalker, but because she became such good friends with them that at the end of the trip, you know, just keep in touch. And they offer it to her, that information. And so she's just so cute. Even at the grocery store, it's no fail. She runs into somebody and they become instant friends. And so that's something that I've adopted, and just from her example, just watching her, it's just totally normal for me to go up to strangers and just strike up a conversation and become friends. So I love friends are super important to me. So that's that.
One thing I'm good at is I forget what I was gonna say. What am I good at? I am good at
Once you are
being loyal.
Yeah.
Once you have my trust and I have yours, I will defend you until you break it, or until you prove me wrong. And even then, I'll probably still defend you until I have obvious proof. Even if everyone else is telling me I can't trust you, you're a liar, I will defend you until you hurt me. It's not always the best, but that is just how I am. All right. What's your favorite food, Becky?
Well, who doesn't like chocolate? But,
Mrs. Coffee doesn't like chocolate. She's allergic to it.
well, then that's not her fault.
Well, she likes it. She's just allergic to it.
I gotcha. I
doesn't like
love
her.
a good salad. I love a
Okay.
good salad. You?
My favorite is Mexican. I love anything Mexican. Quesadillas, tacos, nachos. Not a fan of burritos, even though that's what you call me sometimes.
Oh, that's a whole other tangent.
Yeah, but she calls me a burrito because I'm always cold and I wrap up in blankets, so she calls me
Just
a human burrito.
little burrito.
Or a potato bug when I curl up because
Yeah,
I'm cold.
when she's extremely cold, she's a potato bug. When she's starting to warm up, she's a burrito. And then when she's sufficiently warm, she's a taco. And that's mainly in reference to, like, her bundling up. Like, all you can see is her face when she's a burrito or potato bug.
Burrito.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm curled all up and tucked in.
When she's a potato bug, she's chattering like she's up in the Alps and and there's no getting warm.
Okay, what are our favorite hobbies and activities to do together?
I go to the gym, go shopping, and spend way too much money.
Like we did today.
Well, you did. I was pretty well managed.
I wasn't. We like to play in the dirt
What?
out in the garden.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm leaving it at that.
Oh, dear.
After last night.
We fell into that. We don't need to re-enter that
No.
where it was like using the wrong words and it sounded weird. Anyways.
Yes.
Squirrel.
We like to play in the dirt and...
Okay, you're giving a visual that we're not literally in the dirt playing. The proper way to say it is gardening.
I call it playing in the dirt.
Okay.
I take my shoes off and I play in the dirt.
Oh, come on.
Obviously Becky likes diamond painting now, so that's an activity.
I was so intimidated last night because she was, what did you call it?
It's kidding it up.
Yeah, that was overwhelming because I'd never done this before, and my ADHD requires that I really like something in order to follow through with it.
And this one has 35 colors, so there was a lot of kidding to do.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of 310s, so there were 14 bags of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a little.
I mean, when you've
intimidating.
never done diamond painting and you see all this, like, all these little tiny numbers, and it's like, what the heck? But now I can understand why y'all like it.
Y'all.
Yeah, I know. I'm from the South.
No, you're not. You're from
South
the West.
PA.
No, you're not. You're from Central PA.
Oh, well, whatever.
Okay. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, sticky. Europe, because I really love, like, everything, like, period dramas, like The Crown, Victoria, Poldark, like that kind of stuff. I would love.
She has a crush on Poldark.
Oh my gosh,
That's her
Ross in
celebrity
Poldark.
crush.
Oh my gosh, he is so beautiful. He is handsome. Anyways, so I love Poldark. You guys got to see that show if you haven't yet. So even like more recent period dramas, like Anne with an E, would you call that a drama? Oh.
I would, but that's in Canada.
Oh. Well, you know, historical dramas, I guess is a way to say it. Whatever. I want to see castles. I love like old historical places, I guess is a way to say it. So I would love to go to Europe.
Okay, I would like to go to Europe too, but specifically Germany, Hungary, Austria, Poland, because I am fascinated with World War II history. I know it sounds dark and depressing, but I love the fact that it's the first time period we have the personal stories. It's the first time where we still have the
Survivors.
not just the survivors, but the locations. They're not degraded beyond recognition.
You know what's interesting to me is that there's people out there who believe that, like, the Holocaust didn't happen.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't have more proof.
Right. So that's my favorite time. I know it's weird. It's my favorite time period to study.
Well, it's because it's amazing how people survived that. That's what's
and how
about
charismatic Hitler was.
Yeah. Oh man, that could be like a political tangent.
That could be. I'm not going.
We're not going to go there.
I'm just saying it's amazing how much that was.
How he was just so, like you said, charismatic to just convince everybody to vote for him.
Well, they didn't.
What?
They didn't. I'll explain later.
Okay. Obviously, I don't know my history.
Like I said, I've studied World War II in depth.
Okay.
Netflix has a lot of documentaries if you're interested. Documentaries. If you're interested in World War II, they have some really good ones. I highly recommend them. Anyways, what non-necessity could you not go a day without, Becky?
Non-necessity?
Yep.
Well, Henry is a necessity.
Henry is not a necessity.
Yeah, he is.
He's your emotional support animal.
And he's necessary.
He is not food, water, shelter.
He's sanity. Oh.
People live without sanity all the time.
Oh my gosh. Well, my medication is a necessity, but yes. I could survive without it.
Very true.
I don't like that question. A non-necessity that I couldn't live without.
Okay, we'll say Henry is a necessity. What non-necessity could you do?
Well, Clark is more of a necessity than Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a really technical question.
What material thing could you not live without?
That's a hard question.
I know for me it's my phone.
You couldn't live without it?
Nope.
Really?
I
would find it oddly freeing because there's nothing I can do about it.
But I needed to talk to you. I would miss you.
Aw, you could walk to me.
No, I couldn't.
Sure you can.
It's too far.
No, it's not.
I need it for my job.
So it's not like a life or death. It's just something that, like, you feel like you really need.
Right. It's not a necessity, but I couldn't live without it.
Well, and couldn't live without it is like you have to have it.
I do have to have it, but it's not a necessity. It's not life or death.
You just said that you couldn't live without it. You're checking the question.
What non-necessity can you not go without?
Okay.
So not live
so
without.
Am I taking this question too seriously?
You are.
Okay, all right. Well, then that
What
helps
can you
clarify.
not go without? Not live without.
Okay. I get all worked up when I don't have my phone, because like, what if Clark calls me or is trying to call me? What if life or like an emergency and I don't have my phone? And or if, because I'm always on my phone and always on social media, then if I don't talk, then people will worry about me, and I don't want them to worry about me. So it's all unhealthy. Anyways,
We were a lot freer when phones had wires.
really, I mean, isn't it sad where we think like there's a situation where we would go out like an hour away or whatever, we would do our thing, and it was normal to, like, okay, you're going to be back at 6 or roughly 6, and then not worry about it, Like, how did we ever do anything or even drive places without Google Maps? We had
paper maps.
What was it? MapQuest. We had MapQuest.
Or you had paper maps.
Mm-hmm. And it all worked out.
Okay, pet peeves.
Okay, yeah. I have lots. I have lots of pet peeves.
Keep it to 3.
Okay. It drives me nuts when people pick their nails. I just can't. I can't be around people who are picking their nails and then popping their knuckles. Like, I can understand just, one, but just the constant one right after the other. It makes me mad inside. And
It does.
It really does. Yeah. Nobody's my friend at that moment.
She gave me a dirty look for doing it once earlier.
I know. Well, that was a warning look.
Like, it was just once.
I know. He's like, you try that one more time, you are out.
She was going to kick me out in the snow.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no snow.
There was earlier.
Okay. And then chewing with your mouth open. People who chew with their mouth open. It's gross. Please. I mean, anyways. My nieces do, and, I mean, they have something going for them, and that's because they're cute. But when people smacking their gum or... Anyways, that drives me nuts.
Okay. It's hard for me to think of my pet peeves because I'm so easygoing. But I think my biggest pet peeve would be parents who only want children for the status of having children or for the benefits to get a check for having children, or pop out as many kids as they can have to get more checks, or who don't really want kids at all, but they keep having them. It's like, children are not an object. Children are a small human being with their own personality, their own needs, their own desires. You need to take care of them in that manner. And if you're not going to do that, then don't have them. And it drives me nuts when parents don't even try to take care of their children. I know some people aren't able to, but they're trying their best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's different.
Well, and then, I mean, who don't want kids, yet they have sex without protection.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. If you don't want kids, do your very best not to get pregnant. I mean, you don't have to have sex.
Right.
Wait until you get, like, a condom or birth control. I mean...
Or even if you accidentally do, there's the morning after pill.
Mm-hmm.
There's the depot shot that you only get once every 3 months.
In all fairness, people who... Well, you don't really know you're pregnant until, like, at least 2 weeks.
But the morning after pill, if you have sex accidentally, you can go get it the day after.
Is it free?
No.
Okay, well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's technical.
It is technical.
Yeah. But anyways, it's just... You gotta own up to the consequences, is what I'm saying, and there's always adoption.
There's adoption.
Yeah.
And we're not even going into abortion. No, we are not even
okay.
going there.
Next question, so we don't fall into that.
Okay. What animal do you like and not like?
I like dogs. Oh, this one's broken.
Just leave it. It's trash.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, he's so cute. And I don't like squirrels. I really love and respect all animals, but squirrels around my house have it out for me, and I have it out for them because they destroy, not anymore because we worked something out, them and I, and they were destroying my house, and oh my gosh, I have so many stories. And if you look at my Instagram and follow me, you go back into the history and you can see me illustrating my frustration. It was therapy for me to illustrate my frustration over the squirrels getting in my attic, taunting me, climbing on the screen to my office window, turning around their butt to face me and peeing on the window, because anyways, there's lots of that. So I don't like squirrels.
Okay. What I I like kitties, and this is to Redneck Beauty. I want to see more pictures of those kitties.
Baby
The baby kitties that just got their eyes open. I want to see them. But I think my favorite animal is my pet fish because it's easy to take care of him. And I don't have to walk him. I don't have to clean a litter box. I don't have to clean a cage. I clean his tank once every couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
And I feed him twice a day.
You need
And he's
allergy
happy.
eaters, so you don't have to clean the tank.
He's fine.
You
I
need
don't mind
cleaner
cleaning
fish.
the tank.
Yeah.
Anyway, the animal I don't like, and this is in reference to a comment I made in chat a couple weeks ago. I do not like penguins. I think they are evil little creatures who will rip you apart if they can.
Wow.
Let me explain. Because I know that's a very bold statement to make. When I was in kindergarten, my class went to the zoo. And at lunchtime, we were at the penguin exhibit. And the zookeeper, sorry, my arm's in the way. The zookeeper threw in a bunch of fish into the penguin cage. And then the penguins are,
Oh no.
drill spill. The penguins were fighting over the fish, and then the zookeeper threatened to throw me into the penguin cage as the penguins are tearing apart fish.
I think you need to talk to your therapist about this. Honestly. Because penguins are cute creatures.
Needless to say, I hate penguins. I don't go near them at zoos. I don't like them in movies. I don't watch them if I can help it. And yeah, I just don't like them. But I'm not afraid of clowns. I used to do clowning in high school. I thought it was fun. The makeup itched, but it was fun. And I've never been afraid of them. But I've also never seen it, so...
We won't be doing that.
So that might have something to do with it. All right. Becky and I have had some crazy experiences.
Mm-hmm.
The one I'm going to talk about was Baking Nightmare 2018.
No, dear. I have PTSD from that, and that is why we've made a friend rule that there's no more massive baking at Becky's.
Okay, so last October, Becky and I, 6 months ago this weekend.
Ooh. Are we going to celebrate?
Yeah,
No.
we're going to have bologna and cheese.
Oh, so good. So good. Ritz crackers, bologna, and cheese. I highly recommend it.
6 months ago this weekend, we decided that we were going to do boxes for some families we know and for Christmas, full of cookies. And it started out as a simple project. We had about 15 names that we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, manageable, okay. Somehow, in the space of an hour, that list grew to about 90 names.
And we got all manic about it because, you can get really excited about doing something nice.
Yeah.
And why just do it for 5 people when we can do it for
90.
Yeah.
So, we started. I bought all the ingredients. I spent probably $400 on baking ingredients this year.
Gosh.
I still have ingredients.
Oh boy. But we learned a lot.
We did learn a lot.
So we turned it to a positive.
And about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I came over to Becky's for one of our girls' weeks, and I brought everything.
Yeah. It was really exciting. And I took too long to voice my feelings because Marissa just lit up and she was loving it.
I loved
I
it.
was so happy to see you so happy, but I just built up all this stress that I didn't understand my feelings, and then I just had my bipolar meltdown. And
I had done about 2 batches of cookie dough and about 40 loaves of bread at this point.
And it was just everything was everywhere. And
there was bread coming out the wazoo.
And when you are quite literally addicted to food like I am, and you try so hard to manage, and there's all this deliciousness everywhere, it's like you can't escape temptation, and that just got me down. And anyways, long story short, we learned, as good friends do, boundaries and rules, and how can we preserve our sanity.
Well, how can we preserve Becky's sanity? Marissa continued with the baking fiasco. And I cut the list down to about 45 names.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, 50. I had about 50 names on my list. And thank heavens for a girl from work and her boyfriend, because they came over every night for a week. And thank you for my roommate Mackenzie, because without the 3 of them, I never would have finished.
And I would have liked to have helped, but I was so burnt out.
You had PTSD.
I just kind of got triggered, and I was not helpful to anyone, not even to my husband. And so it was, I'm very delicate in many ways.
So I finally finished. I haven't baked since.
Yeah.
And I've decided next year it's put all the dry ingredients in the jar, give them the recipe, and they can bake the cookies themselves.
Yeah.
Much easier.
We all learned our limits. So at Becky's, the most we cook is a batch of cookies, like a dozen cookies.
Or a loaf of bread.
Or a loaf of bread. So, yes, when Becky's happy, everybody's happy.
Okay, your crazy experience.
My crazy experience was another Christmas baking experience.
The year before.
Yes, the year before I volunteered to help and then failed in helping. Well, I didn't fail. You
didn't know
we
was
learned
doing it.
Well, and I didn't know it was going to be overwhelming for me. So, anyways,
you were cleaning brains up for a while.
Yeah.
The bread had gotten on the wall, the bread dough.
I mean, everything was everywhere in every nook and cranny.
I am a very messy baker, but I was trying to keep it clean because it was Becky's kitchen.
But there was no room for anything. Okay, anyways. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I had helped in that year. I had helped Marissa with delivering. And so we were driving through this neighborhood, and there was this intersection or cross section, however you say it. And I was looking, I wasn't paying attention, and thankfully it wasn't a busy corner or anything. But I drove right through it. I drove right through the stop sign, and Marissa's all, "You stop sign, you didn't stop." And I looked briefly over to my left, and at the other stop sign was a cop, and I'm like, oh crap. And this is the first time I had been pulled over in over 5 years. And so I told the cop that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to break my record. And he says, well, what are you guys doing? And I said, well, we're delivering cookies for Christmas. And
like Santa.
Yeah, like Santa. I played it up as best I could. And he looked at the back. He used his flashlight and looked at the back and saw that we weren't making stuff up. And so, anyways, long story short, he was really nice, and he found it amusing that I was really excited that he wasn't giving a ticket. And I offered him cookies, and he said, oh, no, thank you. So anyways, he didn't give. Oh, and what was funny about that is after he left, I went and I drove down a one-way in the wrong direction.
Yeah. It was like, seriously, Becky, he's going to pull you over again and not let you off.
I know. But we lucked out a lot that night.
And then we were in a creepy neighborhood.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
But it was all good.
This isn't sticking anymore. Do I need more wax?
Yeah. Use your tweezers to pull the wax out.
How do you do that?
You stick the tweezers in the pen. Sometimes you have to scrape around the edge.
Okay, ask the next question. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Our favorite experiences.
Oh, fine, thank you.
Okay, favorite experience that I'm going to talk about is the Harry Potter party we had. Becky had never read this whole series of Harry Potter books. I know. Terrible, terrible tragedy. She still hasn't finished them, but she's working on them.
Yeah, I get too distracted.
So, she also forgets that she's reading them.
Mm-hmm. Marissa's like my human Google Home. She reminds me stuff.
So, we decided to have a Harry Potter party, and we got decorations and posters and
And
cups
food.
and napkins, and we made British food, and we got the snacks from Harry Potter, the Bertie Bott's beans and the chocolate frogs, and
It was so fun.
we watched all the movies because she hadn't seen the movies either.
I had seen one or two, but
You
it
hadn't
was
seen
a
the
long
whole
time
series.
ago. Yeah.
So we watched about one movie a night, and we got through the whole series, and
I was deeply brokenhearted about Snape.
yes, that's why she named my car Snape.
Yes.
And so that was an awesome week.
That was a lot of fun.
And we tried to make, what was it I tried to make? Pumpkin juice.
Yeah,
It
and
turned
that
out
wasn't
pretty
too good. Yeah,
it turned out pretty good. I have a Harry Potter cookbook if anybody's interested in any recipes, so let me know. All right, Becky, your favorite experience.
And can I ask midway through if you guys have any questions, or if you're still listening, please add a comment at the bottom, because this video could end up just being for you and I, and nobody watches it. But I'm just curious to see if people are still interested.
Yeah. And
So-
if you are still listening, kudos to you, because I know we are random, and
I talk really fast when I'm nervous.
This is also probably a very boring video because you don't know either of us, and
Well, I have found yours and Mackenzie's videos really interesting, so perhaps people find us interesting.
So let's finish our questions, and then we'll do some randomness.
I feel like I'm already random.
Okay. Your favorite experience, Becky?
My favorite experience of myself or us? What? Oh, Super Bowl. Okay. Nice. I thought you were wanting me to catch something. That was really fun. Okay, so I grew up in a family that really loves football, and it's just something I grew up with. And then when I met my husband, his family isn't into sports at all. I mean, zero interest. There are some in-laws that really love football, and so, but Clark's not one who, my husband, he's not into sports. So I just kind of fell out of watching it. And so it wasn't until many, many, many years ago, up until this last Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Steelers.
Go Patriots!
What was the other team? Steelers?
No, it
Oh.
was it wasn't Kansas City. It wasn't New Orleans. It was
Philadelphia Patriots. Okay, no, there's...
It wasn't Philadelphia.
Anyway, so I went over, and Marissa and Mackenzie and I, we just had a fun time. I brought snacks and we chatted, and all my childhood just came back, and I was reminded about how fun the Super Bowl is. And so we've decided that we're going to make it a new tradition for us, a friend tradition. And so anyways, that was a favorite. Marissa's looking up who the other team was.
I am. Give me just a sec.
No, I hope I got the right
Los
one.
Angeles Rams. It was Los Angeles.
Oh, the Rams. Yeah, of course.
Your family.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Okay.
It is the worst when you question if you got it in the right spot.
What is your favorite place?
My favorite place. Oh, okay, is that we go. That we do, right?
I thought that was favorite hobby. Yeah, favorite places we go.
I love, 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 love uh, uh, this place called the Country Cupboard, and it's a place that has a nursery, crafty stores, like just very creative stores. They have a restaurant that's way overpriced, and the food isn't worth the price that they charge. But their bakery is delicious. There's this things, the stores, the different stores are just so cute and so fun. A lot of fun things to look at, and then their nursery is
And their
awesome.
chocolate is awesome.
Yes, their chocolate. You have to get the chocolate when you go there. Anyways, it's about like a 40-minute drive for us, but the drive is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Except for Reptile Land.
Wow, that's just a random place to the side of the road. Anyways, it's a fun drive, and it's just a nice escape, and that's what's so nice. Like, and then we go to Applebee's after we go to the Country Cupboard, and Applebee's, the chicken fajita roll up is delicious. So yeah, so that's a fun place.
I like going to the Super Walmart that's near us because I am of a larger size, and our local Walmart does not cater to that. So it's nice to go to the Super Walmart and actually find clothes that fit.
Yeah, it's always nice to find a place where you can get clothes that are comfy. Yeah.
Plus, they have a bigger selection of just everything.
Yeah.
Because our Walmart's not a Super Walmart, so...
Yeah.
And then there's the little restaurant down the street that's awesome, where we go for dinner.
Yes, we love that restaurant because it's just like, it's family owned, and it's just cozy and delicious food at a, I mean,
And
totally reasonable
They know our
price.
faces, if not our names.
Yeah, it's reasonably priced, and they recognize us because my husband and I go there all the time, and Marissa and I go there all the time, and basically they see me the most, and they're so cute. They remember what we like to get, and anyways, it's really, and their prices are amazing, and everything's cool about them. And it's not that fancy of a place. It's like
It's a homey restaurant.
Yeah, it's kind of a place where, when you retire, you go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And their breakfasts are good, aren't they? They're good.
Okay, what would your last meal be?
Harvest, or like, no, let's see. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is.
I don't know.
I think it depends on my current preference.
Yeah.
Probably something Mexican or Chinese, depending on what I was in the mood for.
Yeah.
Okay, and your temporary food obsession.
That's another, that restaurant that we go to, everything about that is an obsession.
They're chicken quesadillas right now for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's quesadillas. My husband and I go through serious food obsessions. Sometimes it's a tea or like a drink obsession or a treat obsession, like Girl Scout cookies. We get stuck on something. But anyways, I don't know. It's really never one thing. Well, it is for sometimes, but I can't think of one.
Okay, so if you are still listening, I want to congratulate you because
Yes, thank you.
we have gotten to the end of our questions. It has taken us over an hour.
Oh, wow. That went by fast.
But, so, like Becky said earlier, if you have any questions for us, even if they don't relate to us personally, I saw some examples online. How's the world gonna end was one of them. If you just have random questions for us, ask them. We'd be happy to try and answer them. And I want to say, next Thursday, we are going to try and do a live stream. With YouTube changing their standards, it might be a little harder and we might not be able to do it. but we're going to try.
But we're gonna see if we can do it.
If we can pull it off, it's going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, we would have to do it from my laptop, right? Oh yeah, we've had some like weird obstacles in trying to record this. So,
But we don't have to save it for a live stream. We just stream it from YouTube.
Okay.
So, I guess that's all. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Yeah, ask questions, make a comment. If you made it through this whole video, please comment, because I want to just see if we're interesting to anybody.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve my videos, please let me know in a nice way. Trolls, stay away.
Ouch.
So, Becky's link to her YouTube channel will be in a link in the description.
Uh-huh.
And I hope you all have a great night. And I will see some of you in about 15 minutes. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.